Okay, hello everybody, welcome to this video. In this chapter, I'm going to explain you two concepts or two theories of our approaches into the Ecuadorian curriculum. These are the CLT and CLIR approach. And then I'm going to present you a mini activity using those approaches for easy communication and content-based tasks for EFL learners. That is our case, learning the English as a foreign language. But let's go to understand the theory of these two approaches. The first one is CLT, communicative language teaching. This approach focuses on real-life use of the language into the communication. This approach encourages the language educations into the focuses activities that learners can promote their speaking ability into real-life context. And then we have the CLIL, Content and Language Integrated Learning. This approach supports the overall Ecuadorian curriculum, but let's go to understand what is the first content. The contents from other discipline, from other subject, is used into this approach for meaningful and purposeful language use. As I mentioned before, this approach supports the overall Ecuadorian curriculum and develop the cognitive and social skill needed for other subjects. This combines the language learning, in our case English, through the vision of other subjects into the combination of the contents like science or history. That is the implementation of this approach. Um, this approach even integrates the five curricular threads of the 4CS. But what are the 4CS? Cultural, communication, cognition, and content. That is the meaning of the 4CS. And then we have the five curricular threads: communication and cultural awareness, oral communication, listening and speaking, and reading, writing, and language through the art. But let's going to move to the activities that are based on those two approaches. The first one, that is communicative task language, it's the role play. The role play is one of the activities most used into this approach. For example, let's going to read the instruction. This activity is gonna work in pair. One student is gonna be the doctor and the second is gonna be the patient. Using simple sentences, they will practice the speak productions through those imitations. What is the problem? It's gonna say the doctor. What is the problem? And the patient is gonna answer, I have a sore throat. The doctor suggests, take this medicine and rest. And through this imitation, the student is gonna learn how to answer this based on this situation and use in real life case when they have to go to the hospital or they will have a meet with the doctor through different circumstances. The which role is gonna repeat and repeat and repeat through different students and try to convey to the acquisition of those vocabulary. The CLT objective and resources through this activity is gonna be practice the speaking skill, as I mentioned before, into real world context. The materials, symptoms card using visual supports like headache, stomach, sore throat, chills, cough, and so on. Using flashcard with medical tool, thermometer, field, and stethoscope. That is the medical supplies into the implementation of the visual supports. And the tips is gonna encourage the natural communication and role immersion. Very good. Now let's going to move to the second activity. that is based on clear approach, content language integrated learning. This activity is labeled and describe the body part. The instruction is labeled the body part on a worksheet or even in the board through the participation of the students. Through those vocabulary, head, arm, leg, stomach, and so on, like knees, eyes, hands, fingers, I don't know, the whole part of the body. And then label obviously the picture to the correct part. Uh, encourage to students to provide the understanding through the writing short sentences of the body part. For example, legs helps to walk. The brains control the body and share orally in class. But what are the intention of this activity? As you can recognize, the body part are part of the science subject. Yes, are part of the science subject. But through our lesson, we are going to involve those content and provide to the students a key vocabulary, and they learn the body part vocabulary into the biologic facts, into the biologic visions, into our lesson in English. The materials at the same case that before is the diagrams of the body that as a visual support, the word bands, keywords or vocabulary, and sentences prompt for each activity. So thank you so much for watching this video. This video was about these two activities based on the two approaches, CLT and CLIL approach.